Good evening, everyone. We would like to welcome the 2023 Fortinet Championship winner, Sahith Theegala. Sahith, congratulations on earning your first PGA Tour victory. We're going to start off with some opening comments on what it was like to get that first win on tour.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just can't believe it happened, and just a lot of work that was put in, and a lot of people that were behind this. It's just golf is really, really hard, and you never know when you're going to find a little hot streak or when you're going to go on a cold streak. And you know, I'm just taking it all in as game's been feeling good and putting in the work. And but yeah, my first thought is just like, it feels like such a team win. It doesn't feel like a win just for myself. It's for everyone that supported me and kind of got me where I am today. But a lot of really, really good golf the last 4 days. Just gives me so much confidence that I kind of went out there and got it today. I didn't, really just kind of leak my way in. I really feel like I kept the pedal down, and that's kind of what I was missing in the first few times I was in contention.
And how special is it that your first win came in your native home state here in California with over 40 family and friends following along all week?
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, to be able to share, such a, I don't want to say once-in-a-lifetime moment, but it really is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. You only win once, and you never even know if you're ever going to win, right? So to be able to share this moment with all of them is really special and something that I'll never forget. And even, through the highs and the lows this week, they were cheering me on and supporting me, and they've been that way since I've started my pro career. So, I just want them to know, hopefully, want them to know that I have their back too, and it's awesome. It's awesome to win in my home state and have so many people come up and just be able to come up and watch.
Perfect. With that, we'll open up to the media. If you guys have a question, we'll get a microphone over to you, but we'll open up here with Ron.
Thank you. Congrats. You mentioned the gallery. How much bigger was it today? It sounds like people sort of joined knowing you had a chance. And how did that, I mean, a couple times they started chanting your name. You looked a little sheepish. What was that like, just sort of as you're trying to, stay focused and navigate your way through the 18 holes to have that sort of vocal support?
Yeah. Watching golf and playing golf is so different. I feel like, personally for me, watching golf, I get way more nervous than playing golf. So I know what it's like to be in their shoes and watching, and I know you get definitely more on the highs and more on the lows watching too, whereas I feel like I've always been pretty steady on the golf course, and I'll wear my emotions on my sleeve, but for the most part I won't get too low or too high. So I've told my family and friends that I love their cheering, and I acknowledge it, but during the moment, if I make a birdie, I'm just trying to keep my heart rate down out there and not get too excited, and just kind of keep playing, because I learned the hard way a couple times. You just have to go and get it. I did look at the leaderboards on the back nine especially, and I saw I had four or five shot lead most of that back nine, but just the finishing stretch, and these guys are so good. So I knew I just had to stay as focused as I can and just try and play my best golf coming in. But it's awesome, especially at 17 and 18. I just kind of soaked it in a little bit, and sure enough, I soaked it in on 18 and made I hit 3 of the worst shots I did all week. So, but yeah, it's awesome just hearing the chants every single hole, and it definitely gave me a lot of energy.
We have Paul back here in the white hat.
Hey, Sahith. We've talked all week kind of about you trying to hit more fairways and put yourself in some prime positions. Today, you're in the trees a couple times in the rough. Does that kind of just embody kind of your game, the shot making that it allows, and to be able to win that way?
Yeah. I don't know what the stats were. I did feel like I drove it better today, but I probably hit 6 fairways. That's just how it always seems to work for me. But I feel like I hit the fairways or the intermediate or just off the fairway today where on the drives I needed it the most. And I fully understand that my long game, or especially off the tee, is not my strength. And believe it or not, it's gotten a lot better the last couple of years. right out of college, I probably would have been 200 strokes getting off the tee. And the last couple of years, I think I've been just over 100, which I've been making progress. And I always joke that, hitting it that bad for a lot of my life off the tee has helped me just be really creative and just find a way to get the ball in the hole and score and hit all these crazy shots and do whatever it takes to get it in the hole. And, I feel like hitting fairways is a bonus, and I don't get too stressed out if I hit it offline. I will say I feel like I miss it on the correct side pretty much every time. It might be really far away from the fairway, but it is at least the side that's, in bounds or in play and have a recovery shot. So good at that, I guess. But, I don't let it stress me out too much. And, me and my coach have been working on this forever, and we're making progress, and that's all I can ask for. I still feel like I probably work the hardest on my short game, and just want that to keep getting better and better. And I'm getting more and more confident that, it's the strongest part of my game, and I can rely more and more on it as I move forward.
Is there something that clicks with you when you put yourself in those scenarios, kind of back against the wall? You see a narrow window, something about that kind of like sparks that creativity in your game, that shot making ability?
Yeah. Just growing up as a kid on the range, one of the things I did a lot with my coach and even with my dad is I'll be on a flat range, but I'm like, how many times are you actually hitting a dead flat shot, hitting a dead stock shot into a hole at a tournament? It's literally never. So I would always envision I have a tree in front of me and hit every kind of shot around the tree. I do the classic tic-tac-toe, and I just loved working the ball. And also jokingly, I was like, I'm not good enough to hit a straight shot. Like, I don't want to aim at the flag and expect to hit a straight one. Like, I just don't think my swing's built for that. So just kind of combination of that and definitely seeing, small windows and tighter targets is something I've been really working on. So when I don't have an option, I just have the tight window, I feel like I go ahead and pull it off. So more often than not, it's bit me in the butt a few times. But, I definitely think I'd like to have that focus on every shot, but I know that's not how golf works.
We have Marty here in the very front.
Congratulations, Sahith.
Thank you, Marty.
You have mentioned Zach Sims a number of times this week and his family and the fact that they have welcomed you into their home. How much of a comfort zone was that for you this week, driving over to Silverado today with Zach? He talked to me this morning about how he said, he could feel, good things were about to happen today. But how much does Tom and Jennifer and Zach and the Sims family mean to you?
Yeah, they mean so much to me. Zach's truly become one of my best friends over the last 3 years. He caddied for me on my sponsor invites out of college and on the Corn Ferry, and he caddied for me here in 21. He was supposed to caddy for me in 2020. That's another funny story, but he actually just came back from European Q school, so he wasn't able to get here till last night. But even having him out today and his girlfriend Becca, but it was awesome having him out. He's just nothing. He's legit the nicest person I know on this planet. The most optimistic guy, and traveling on the road with him for a year rubbed off on me a little bit. I was always a little bit pessimistic about stuff, but yeah, Zach's the man. I can't thank Tom and Jennifer enough too for hosting me. I don't remember if I stayed with them in 2020. I think I did. I think this is 4 years in a row staying with them. It truly feels like a home game. They've cooked me up some really, really nice meals over the last 3 years. I think they're cooking some nice stuff tonight. I might go back there and eat there. But, I just feel like I'm one of their kids. Feels like a second home to me up here. First tournament that I've played 4 times, and I've probably played this golf course. Outside of the tournament, I've probably played it 10, 15 times. I played the Napa Open, which is sponsored by Zach's company, Perfect, and he's one of my best friends, and for him to be here, and I saw him, and we got a picture with the trophy after. It means a lot to me.
And we're going to get a microphone over to Michael.
Hey, Sahith, congratulations. My question is, when you shanked your drive on 6 into the ninth fairway, when you were coming out when you hit out, did you hit the lip of the bunker or did you hit a tree?
I didn't do either, actually. I chunked it both times. Both times I hit in a fairway bunker today, I needed to hit like a chippy hook, and both times I just got under. I just dumped it and chunked it both times. So I just chunked it. I saw it hit the tree softly, and I was like, "Oh boy, I probably just hit it right behind that group of oaks there." And I got lucky. I had a little opening behind the trees and the bark, but yeah, just flat out chunked it. And I knew right when I hit that tee shot on 6, I'm like, I literally hit it right of the cart path, maybe onto the other hole, and I was just really hoping it wasn't in that bunker, because that's probably the bunker with the biggest lip on property. And yeah, just chunked it. I was happy to walk away with 5 there.
You were talking all week about playing more loose because it's not the first tournament of the year. Every time you got into trouble today with a bogey or something, a couple holes later, you bounced right back. How important was that for you to shake those bad holes off and get right back on track?
Yeah, that's kind of I feel like that's been a strength of my game for so long. I feel like my bounce back stats are really good. I have a pretty short memory on and off the golf course. I don't remember a lot of things. You can ask my girlfriend back there. I really don't remember that well, but it works out well in golf. Works out well in golf. I have a short memory for sure, and I just, I feel like you definitely have a vibe at the beginning of the week, whether you're playing well or not, and when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't really think of that. But this week, I just felt so relaxed and felt like my game was in a really good place. I probably practiced more than most of the guys in this field leading up, just because I was so fired up about not making Eastlake, and I was disappointed, and I had a hard time putting the sticks away for a bit. But yeah, I just kept reminding myself that I'm playing really well, and my caddy Carl does an incredible job of, we'll make a bogey, and our conversation from the last fairway won't change. We hardly talk about golf, to be honest. We talk about basketball, sports, cars, life, you name it. So just him keeping kind of a consistent vibe throughout is also really helped after a bad hole.
We have Ron again, then up to Art.
You've talked in the past about your pride and your Indian heritage.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much this win, especially on the heels of Akshay winning earlier this summer. I mean, there's a lot of people in India. How much can this mean for golf in India, do you think? And how much does that matter to you? Obviously, you were born and raised here, I understand, but with that sort of background and the family connection.
No, it means a lot to me because a lot of my family is still back in India, and I'm very proud of my Indian heritage, and I just love seeing other Indians kind of rise to the occasion in sports. Neeraj winning a couple gold medals is huge. I think it was the first gold medal in track and field for javelin. That's huge for the country, and I was really lucky to play with Shabankar at the Open in a practice round and meet his whole team and his dad and his coach, and he had a great showing there. I was pulling for him so hard. One of the nicest guys I've ever met, and I think he finished like 7th there. And he's been having a nice little resurgence season, kind of. And I know Anirban texts me all the time, and he's obviously been great for the Indian game too. And obviously with Akshay winning, and I think Aaron Rai just finished 2nd at BMW. So a lot of really cool kind of role models and people to look up to for the Indian people, and hopefully we're breaking some stereotypes about athleticism and competing in sport and all that, and it means a lot to me, for sure. There's a lot of things I do in daily life where that stems from my culture and my heritage, and my parents were the first ones from their family to be in the States, so it means a lot, and I think hopefully this is the start of something really good for Indian sports.
And we have Art in the very front.
A year and a half ago at Scottsdale, you come so close.
Yeah.
And today you come out of the gate like nobody's going to touch me. Were you thinking like that? I'm just going to go out and grab this thing?
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I think that's the last 54 hole. I've only had, this might have been my third. But I vividly remember I got this weird feeling on hole 5 today. I was in that greenside bunker, and I looked over at the leaderboard kind of on accident. I saw it at a 3-shot lead. And I remember making a putt on hole 5 the last round at Waste Management to have a 2 or maybe at least a 2-shot lead. And I just remember thinking today, it's like, I want way more than that. Like, I want to, just keep playing how I've been playing the whole week and see how far ahead I can get. Whereas I remember at Waste Management, I remember thinking, I got a couple tough holes coming up. Like, I just got to hold in there and stay around the lead. And it was nice to be able to draw back on that. And I hit that bunker shot to a foot, which was really nice. And, it was I was so much calmer today. At Waste, I was just kind of thrown in with all the top guys in the world. And this might have been my 10th PGA Tour start that year on a sponsor invite. And much calmer and chiller atmosphere this week, and I think that helped. But just drawing off of that experience was big because I just remember how much that hurt. I'm such a competitor, and that one really, really hurt. I thought I did it all to put myself in a position to win and to not come away without it hurt. So, but it was such a good learning experience knowing that it's legitimately not done till the last putt drops. It's not done. So. I definitely draw on that one, and at Sanderson Farms, my first year too. I draw on those two experiences a lot, and now I'm glad I have one where I get the job done to draw on too.
Nick on the left.
Hi, Seth. Can you speak about your father and the inspiration he was to you growing up? And I believe he also encouraged other young family members, to get out on the course with you. Oh
yeah, my dad's the reason I'm here today. I mean, he introduced me to all sports, most specifically basketball and golf. Just love watching it on TV with him, and all he knew when he came from India is academics and to study. And him and my mom did such a good job of just kind of learning how to almost hybrid parent between this Indian culture and American culture, and let me play sports, let me spend a lot of time on sports, put me in basketball club. And my mom drove me to so many practices when my dad was still at work, and just the combined efforts of them to kind of understand that this was my dream and my passion, and for it to become their dream and their passion, especially my dad. My dad he just loves sports, and he's a competitor too, even though he's never, really, really played sports. But I think at first it was hard for maybe some of my family and even friends to understand why I was trying to chase playing professional golf. It seems like kind of a pipe dream, but my dad had my back the whole time. He just believed in me from the start and knew that this could be a thing. So, it's tough not to get emotional with just thinking about everything he's done, and he's always had my back. And even through my wrist surgery in 2018, 19, thinking, I might never play again. Him just having my back and keep on pushing me. And he also did such a good job of, he was really hard on me, but also, one of my best friends, and always told me to have fun. And the main thing was to just enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, then there's no purpose in doing it. Life's too short. So, he's just such a right combination. Now he's the most, he's the happiest person I know. Zach's the most optimistic person I know. My dad's right there with him. He means the world to me, and my mother keeps him in check for sure. My mom keeps him in check. Sometimes he loses touch of reality a little bit, but they make a good duo.
We have time for a few more. We're going to go on the right, and then we'll get the microphone
Sahith,
back.
Congratulations on a great win this week.
Thank you.
You shared with us that you're really comfortable with the Silverado North course.
Yeah.
How did that affect your strategy going out there with the lead on the final round?
Yeah, it actually affected it quite a bit. I'm realizing how awesome it is to come back to a golf course over and over. I was lucky enough to come back to a lot of courses for the second time this year, and coming back here for the fourth time, it felt like I've played here a million times, you know, especially at tournament conditions, because it's tough to replicate tournament conditions. You could play a golf course, for example, LACC, I've played 40, 50 times, but to play it in a tournament was totally different. So to play this golf course with so many rounds, there's just certain holes where, like, hitting driver on 4 is kind of an intuitive thing, where I feel comfortable doing that because I know exactly where the lines are and where the little branches are that it could hit, and just little stuff like that. And definitely helped me out on the greens. There was a lot of greens that, you know, are really, really tough reads, but because I've hit those putts or similar putts before, I had, again, it's a little bit intuitive, just seeing some of the breaks better. There's a couple holes out here which I think is big, is where the short side's actually better. If you leave it long side on some of these holes, you have a really, really tough 2-putt, and it's almost better just firing out the pins. And I was a little more aggressive with my iron game, especially on the par 3s. So, yeah, just a combination of everything. And I'm a West Coast guy, so I always feel like I do really well on Kikuya and Poa. And these greens, shout out to the grounds crew, they kept them really, really pure. It's hard to keep Poa pure in the afternoons, but they're rolling true.
In the back with Matt and Taylor.
Sahith, it feels like we've seen you grow a bunch in a myriad of ways over these last couple of years, but I've heard you talk quite a few times about your body and some of the work you've done with Josh. What are you able to do, what has that made you able to do that maybe you weren't before, and how has that changed you as a player?
Yeah, I feel like I've said a few things are the most important thing to me, but really we only have one body, and I've learned throughout the years that I just want to be healthy. You know, whether that's putting more work in on the gym or taking more rest days, me and Josh just figured out I just need to be healthy. And I've kind of had a new commitment to the gym. Probably started late in college. My trainer at college was pretty hard on me too, but I was already working with Josh, which was great. And the strides we've made the last few years has been incredible. Strength-wise, I'm really not a whole lot stronger. I definitely am stronger, but my flexibility is way better. My mobility is better. My stamina is really good. I never get off a golf course tired anymore, which is awesome. My back and wrists have been, you know, 2 big things that we've really worked hard to keep healthy. And knock on wood, I've been healthy since my surgery. Haven't missed a single event because of injury in 4+ years. So it's tough. It's you know, this game is so taxing, especially I love the game and I play a lot, so it's very taxing. And but I feel like we're on a really good path, and he definitely knows what he's doing, and he knows my body really well. And you know, we have another. We just sat down last week. I was down in LA, went to see him in the gym, and we kind of set out a plan for what we want to improve on this year, what we did well last year, and yeah, one of the big things also, I asked a bunch of guys my rookie year about, like, hey, is there just like one overarching piece of advice that you'd say is, and a lot of them said just take care of your body from an early stage. I completely understand why so many guys spend so much, you know, time and money on recovery and training and doing all that, because you just have your one body and you need to be close to as 100% as you can be week in and week out to be consistent. And I'm definitely, you know, taking that more seriously.
And secondly, do you have a primary swing thought, or is there anything that you consistently go to?
Yes, I have. It changes from week to week, but I've based my whole game kind of around the anti-left. My whole life, I've taken the left side of the golf course out of play, whether that be aiming way right and slinging it left, or aiming left and, you know, working it off the trouble. And whenever I get, you know, a little bit wayward, I just go back to, well, a lot of this, it starts from my setup. But the one kind of swing thought and key that I have to kind of take the left side of the golf course off is just turn my body a hair more through impact and swing just a touch more left. I mean, me and my coach Rick have been working so hard on setup, takeaway, rhythm, and all that. We don't really mess with my positions or swing much, but you know, I think we're on the same page about taking the left side of the golf course out of play. And you know, today I hit a couple left with the 3-iron, and I know I had a pretty nice lead, but 16, that 3-iron I hit on 16 kind of was the one where I took the left side of play, just kind of leaned on it a hair and hit a really nice cut in there after missing a couple 3-irons left. So that's kind of the overarching one I'd say that I have pretty consistently.
Taking final few, Taylor.
When you won last December at QBE, you said that your dreams didn't get past getting your tour card. What do those dreams look like now for you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do a little reevaluation. I really don't know. I've never been super result or goal-oriented in my golf. You guys are probably sick of hearing me say this, but I'm just trying to make progress and stick to the process and just try and get 0.00001% better. Even that much better is good enough for me. Obviously, I'm going to try and get the most out of it, but yeah, I never. My dream was always to get my tour card. Did I think I was going to get it? Yes. I didn't know when. I knew I was going to work my butt off to try and get it. And it really didn't go further than that. My dad's always had the belief in me that I could come out here and compete and win. But as a player, I feel like you don't have that belief till you do it necessarily. And it's now I do have that belief because it actually happened. But yeah, I don't even know what my dreams are going on from here. I think it's just to keep giving it all I have and doing it for my friends and family and everyone that supports me and just seeing how far I can go in this game. Just trying to get better. I really am addicted to just seeing how much better I can be and being around some of the top players in the game a lot more recently has fired me up even more. Just to see if I can, be in the mix as kind of one of those guys. So, yeah, I guess I'm just going to keep sticking to what I've been doing. I think it would probably be easy to get sucked into certain things or looking at stuff different ways, but I'm going to keep looking at it the same way I have been and just do my thing.
This is the final question from Paul.
You've talked about all week kind of, or just going back, that you're not someone who thinks about winning. It's not something that you're constantly, you just want to get in contention, is what you've said. Exactly. Is there a point today where you really let yourself think about a win and what it would mean?
Yeah, there was a point, and it was after I hit the tee shot on 17. But yeah, I really, again, I've been lucky enough to kind of win at the junior, collegiate, and I should say pro, but like the mini tour level. I can't stress enough how good the game, like how good golf is right now. I mean, the guys on the mini tour level, the level of golf they're playing is pretty crazy. I think a lot of people don't realize how high of a level of golf even those guys are playing. I mean, they're just a few weeks away from being on the PGA Tour, and they can compete, and there's been a lot of examples of it, Akshay being one of them. Ryan Gerard, there's a lot of guys that kind of had no status and played their way on. So I know how hard it is to win and to compete on a weekly basis. So that's why I feel like I don't think about winning that much. Again, I've just been lucky to win at every level, and that's kind of been my way of going about it. It's just put yourself in contention as many times as possible, because that means that there's a little more consistency to my game, which is kind of always what I've leaned on. I haven't been a guy that gets extremely, extremely hot and then goes extremely cold for a long time. I kind of just, have a high floor, I feel like, and I'm trying to expand that ceiling, get that ceiling higher. But yeah, the whole time today, I just wanted to keep the pedal down. Really tried to not look at the leaderboards at all in the front. Caught a glimpse on 5, but I didn't even really have a target score in mind. I just knew that if I put in the right positions, I can go low out here. I think the greens I thought they would be a touch firmer today, but they were probably the same as yesterday. So I was able to get aggressive with some iron shots, and yeah, I didn't think about winning till 17. I hit the tee shot, and I wish I did a little better on the last hole, but I really wanted to go for it. I'll put that on Carl. Carl's strokes gained caddying this week was through the roof. He caddied like Actually, for the year, it's been incredible. It's better than all my stats combined, but I'll give him a -1 stroke gained caddying on 18. I wanted to go for it, just blast it by the green, but he wanted me to lay up, and I laid up. Just terrible layup shot in the rough, but it's all good, I guess. Win's a win.
Perfect. That's all the questions we have. Sahith, again, congrats on that first win. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you, Hilly. Thank you, guys.